Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to NS9NFT. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, as always, we have Jim Rosati. What is up, Jim?
Hey, good evening. Happy Monday. How we doing?
I'm doing well. Opposed to it being 20 degrees this weekend, I'm doing pretty well. It warmed up today. It was a very, very warm 65 degrees.
It warmed up a little bit here. Like I think it got into the 40s. But man, I got caught in a little, they called it a squall. I don't know what exactly that meant, but I was driving home from Nashville on Friday, and I'm about 30 minutes from home, and all of a sudden it just starts snowing like crazy. No one in the city knows how to drive in the snow. I think there was some ice underneath the snow, so it was awful.
Yeah.
It was a miserable Friday because not only did it take me like 2 hours to go what normally would have taken me 30 minutes, the whole time this was happening, I was the NFL all day drop kept getting pushed.
Oh,
and
right.
then as soon as I got in it, I was like, not gonna make it. So it was a rough Friday night.
Yeah, I'm sure. It was rough just because of that NFL all day drop. I mean, I understand it's beta. It's beta. You got to realize that. I know there's a lot of people in a lot of these spaces right now that are pissed off, Candy included, about a lot of things, but realizing all this is beta because this is the first time anyone's doing any of this stuff, really. So, but yeah, there was a lot of issues around the NFL all day drop, which had me very nervous, but I wasn't driving in any squalls. So I was just in Walmart. I don't know who had a worse time. You driving in a squall or me just being at Walmart?
There was one point because it ended up it told me to get off the highway. And so when it got off the highway, I was like, oh goodness, this isn't going to be fun. So I'm driving through all these back roads to try to get to my house. And at one point I'm going up this hill, and I swear I thought I was just going to start just falling back down the hill.
Yeah.
It took me a while. I eventually got up the hill, but it took like I had to struggle to get up that hill. The whole time I didn't get a pack. So
I know.
It was rough.
That does suck, Jim. I know both of us. I did get a pack. I'm not trying to rub it in. I did get a pack. I feel for you though. We were both. You're so excited about this drop.
I at least had the 1 week before they just like opened it up to just everybody. Because I feel like that's what happened last week. Like they opened up the beta to like every single person. And yeah, I think like half the people who joined the queue didn't even get a pack.
Seemed it. We'll maybe talk about that a little later. We get to NFL all day.
Yeah.
Jim's like, I'm just going to blow through this content right now. So, but yeah, I mean, I've had it's been not as good of a week as the week before. That was a really good week for us. This week was good though. I've started, as we're talking Candy here, and I did talk last week that I was going to officially start my quest. I don't know, for the prospect, right? The uncut diamonds. So I have started that, and I believe, I was at 14, but I'm at 13 now because one of mine was a rare that finally sold. So I'm at 13 prospects right now. Currently, so that's nice. I do have about $1,300 or $1,400 in pending candy funds coming to me. So I anticipate within a week's time being probably almost completed. But my goal is to be completely finished by the time the candy meetup is on February 17th. So that is my goal. I walk into New York City with a prospect set done.
That's a good goal.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. It's definitely doable too. I mean, if you've got $1,300 in candy funds coming to you, you can certainly get that taken care of. Because I think the floor on the prospects is like $3,000 right now.
Yeah.
And so you're almost halfway. So you're getting there.
Yep. Definitely getting there. That's one thing. We'll talk, kind of getting into that right now. Even it seems like the floors for the prospects hasn't really moved much. In the past few weeks, it's been like hovering right around $3,000, give or take here and there, right? But the All-Stars, though, Jim, I know they've been steadily declining, and I feel like over the past few days, especially like today, it seems like it took maybe a more significant drop.
Yeah. So we were on last week, and I think, we kind of talked about last week how it kind of rose throughout the week before, and then the weekend hit, and then it started dropping a little bit. And then as the week progressed all of last week, it just kept dropping a little bit every single day.
Right.
And now we're at an all-star floor, which is for the cores. We're under $11,000 now. So it's the lowest it's been since, that's the lowest it's been since the Sunday or Monday after, I think. After the marketplace opened.
I fully agree. I can't tell you if it's like right above it or below, but it's definitely right around that margin. We certainly saw it increase almost every single day that first week. That Friday, Saturday was a kind of a crazy day, and then started leveling, dropping down Sunday through today. So, you are correct. It has dropped down significantly. And here's the thing too. That's like the floor listing. Like what I've been noticing, because again, I've been scouring the marketplace trying to pick off my my players, right, that I need. The floor is, of course, like what the listings are, but realistically, that's not really what things are selling for. It almost seems as if right now we're in a time where people, and I mean, you can definitely acknowledge this, there's not a whole lot of sales that are taking place right now. You do see not like that first week when it's like as soon as you hit refresh, there's a whole new six moments that are up because those are already gone. It seems as if those are kind of just like chilling, and like in a few minutes you might see a new one pop up. So sales aren't happening too much. So to me, it almost seems like it's a waiting game. Who is willing to wait out and hold, and who needs the money now? Because that floor, say the floor, we'll just use an example of one. I know it's well, actually no. Let's do real stuff. So let me go ahead and. Just looking at the floor right now. So we're sharing right now. So let's go to floors. I'm sorry. Let's go to listings. And let's just type in Juan Soto. If I can do so right. So right now the floor on Juan Soto is $570. Man, that's crazy low. It was like what, $800? Almost $900, I feel like.
Yeah. It's gone down about $300.
So 570 is right now the floor on him, but let's look at like the most recent sales. So, 650, 630, 619, 59. Okay. This is a bad example. So someone scoop up that floor right now because you're getting a very, very good deal on it.
But I think to your point, what you're saying is a lot of the sales that are happening are people who are listing well below the floor, and then they're getting scooped up like right away, right?
Right.
So for example, if somebody's floor is at $60 and someone lists it at 40, that one is getting scooped up immediately because it's so much lower than all of the other ones. So I think that's what we're seeing here. A lot of the sales that are happening, they're collectibles that are being listed well below the floors and being scooped up by people. Because I think what you kind of were alluding to is just there's not a lot of people buying right now. Right. So you have a lot of people who maybe already did their buying 2 weeks ago or last week, and there's just not a whole lot of people who are looking to add a whole bunch of stuff to their collection right now. So what you have people who are maybe they're a little frantic and they're looking to just kind of unload stuff. So those people they keep undercutting. So it's pushing the floor down. And you don't really have anybody to buy these things because the people who were buying did all their buying. already.
Right.
So you have these people who want to unload, and they just keep lowering the floor, and eventually it's going to get to the point where, people are like, all right, this is too low, so I'm going to buy it. So that's what we're seeing now, is a lot of those sales are, once somebody kind of gets, desperate, and they want to sell something, and they're listing it for well below what it's typically going for. Those are what you're seeing being scooped up now. And I can just kind of attest to this personally. Like, I haven't made a marketplace purchase I don't think I've made one in the last week. But if I were to make one, that's what it would be. Like, I still have the marketplace up. I'm refreshing it from time to time. If I find something on there where, someone puts it just like well below value, I'll go ahead and I'll scoop it up. But I'm not really actively looking to buy anything right now, just because I already completed my prospect set. Like, I wouldn't mind like a couple other people who I'm missing, but yeah, for the most part, I've done what I wanted to do with this collection. So I'm just kind of waiting it out. If somebody wants to list something super low, I'll take it, but I'm not like scouring the floor.
Yeah, you're right. Now here is a good example. So like Xavier Edwards, and this one I should have came to mind right away, because is the guy I'm looking at. I've missed out on some of these just being too late for it, but when you look at his last sales, $49, $30, $49, $45, $40, $45. But like when you look at his listings, they're all in the 60s. This 64 right now is the floor. So like theoretically, you're looking at that. I mean, that's like about a $20 difference. You add up all the prospects. So that's like what I'm getting at here is like, I know the floor listing is say 10,000. What was it? $400. 10,006 right now. And for the uncut diamonds, it's 3,079. But I feel like if you really wanted to complete the collection and be patient in it, you could do it for far less, just based on what we saw right now. The Juan Soto, not so much, but for these other ones, and that's what I feel, not the premier players also. It's more of the guys that no one, like your pitchers. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen like Zach Wheeler going for like $30, $40. And I understand he is a pitcher, but it's still Zach Wheeler. You know what I mean? So, but it's like when his floor is maybe at $70 right now, everyone's just like, well, either I don't need Zach Wheeler because I've already purchased it, my set's complete, or it's like, well, he's not Soto. Like I want Tatis, I want Ohtani, I want Trout. So I feel like it is those mid-tier to the bottom tiers that are really, really getting hurt in that sense. So yeah, I feel like if your play right now is still to like acquire, not to give my secret out there and let you know what I'm doing, because I'm fighting with you, but I feel like if you're patient, they're going to come. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just being patient, just seeing, if I can pounce on something I need and go attack it. So that's what I've really done this whole week. I haven't just gone out. I've gotten funds come in, but it's not like I just went out to players and hit buy. I'm just refreshing the marketplace. When I see something that's supposed to be listed for 100, goes for 75, boom. Now I'll get it. Because they're happening. Those are happening quite a bit.
Yeah, and you have to be quick on those, right? I mean, if you look at, all of the sold listings, that's what the majority of them are just like really low. So as long as you're quick and you can catch them at the right time, you can have a shot at that. But yeah, I think what you said, yeah, it's like the lower tier ones and the middle tier ones, they're kind of getting pushed down and down and down because no one's like actively looking to buy them right now. So it's like no one's really scooping them up until they get put for some stupid low price, and then they're getting bought.
Right. So that's a good way to, transition this a little bit here. It's right now January 31st, about to be February 1st tomorrow, right? Season starts, hopefully. I mean, after the meeting we saw today, probably not going to start, but hopefully it starts April 1st, right? So we have a few months till baseball starts. And again, to kind of talk what we've been saying over and over and over again with Candy, they came out with this drop right in the beginning of the off season. So it's going to be like interesting what they're going to do. I think they've answered that. They're just kind of chilling right now. They keep, which is cool. They keep saying like, we have so much plan. Like, can't wait to tell you guys. So like, we know there's a lot going behind the scenes. We know that there's a lot of stuff coming, but as of right now, as it stands, there probably isn't. So with that said, in the marketplace, like what we're seeing now, Is this maybe going to continue? Like, do you think this is maybe a trend? I mean, we're just right now, January 31st. What's February 28th going to look like? What's March 15th going to look like in the marketplace? So we're looking at 10.6 right now for the All-Star floors. Is that going to approach 8, 7, at that point in time? Because there's still no one really buying. And those ones that want to unleash them are doing it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I mean, at some point, it's going to get to a level where, it'll stop and it'll reverse, right? I don't know if we're there yet, because I'm just like sitting here refreshing the marketplace, and there's a core Mookie Betts sitting here for $379, right? So it hasn't been scooped up yet. So, like, how low does that Mookie Betts need to go before someone just says, well, shit, it's Mookie Betts. I gotta buy it, right?
This is ridiculous.
So I guess at what point does Mookie Betts need to get to where someone just goes, okay, this is enough. I have to buy this Mookie Betts, right? I don't know. I don't know where that point is. Mookie Betts is somebody who I need. I'm seeing here there's the floor on Mookie Betts is 320. So it kind of keeps going down. I don't know at what point I will be like, okay, I need to buy it at that price, right?
Yeah.
So, because I mean, the two guys who I haven't gotten yet, who I want, are Mookie Betts and Ronald Acuna. So those are the two that I'm kind of just like keeping an eye on, to see kind of what happens with them. And yeah, so you've got Mookie Betts, you've got Acuna's floor is currently 488. So yeah, how low can they go? I don't know. I'm not to the point yet where I'm just spending the money on them, but I do think it'll get to that point eventually where I'm gonna have to just say, all right, this is enough. Mookie and Acuna, let's get added to the collection here.
You make a very, very good point, because the fact that you're saying that, and I've done it too. I saw Jason Dominguez, which again is a guy I need now. I don't have the candy funds, although I've also said, like, if there's something that's out there ridiculous, I'll just use my credit card, like, no big deal, right? But like, I saw Jason Dominguez out there. Now, mind you, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, if I would have saw this price, I'm jumping on it. But I saw Jason Dominguez, and I came late, so it was like the fourth listing, which means I know it's been there for a bit. That was listed for like $210. And that was one of those things, like, I came on, I saw it, I was like, oh, like, I got to jump. But then I took a step back. I'm like, wait, it's been here. So I'm like watching, like how you said about the Mookie, like, no one else is jumping on it. So like, if they're not jumping on these prices now, I kind of feel like with you, like, then I'm not, because what is the low? Like, what is that point? Is this Dominguez, or is that Mookie going to get the 250 eventually? Like, when that starts to happen, like, now do you start jumping on it? I'm just kind of like, that's why I'm letting these kind of go too. And that's also what I did. I've started on the cheaper ones, because I feel like we just talked about, those are the ones that are most affected. The people are just trying to unload on them. And it's kind of a risky play. I mean, I could have done bigger, because I could maybe, they start increasing. So it's a bit of a risk, but my risk reward here is, let me wait, because let's see if this trends. Because why jump on, Rodriguez now for $350 or whatever? Maybe I'm getting for $275 in 2 weeks, because I was patient. So that's literally where I'm at with you right now too. Like, right, the floor we see on them is like $350, right? But most sales are happening at like $325, $299, like in that range. But in 2 weeks, right? What if those sales are like $250, $275 or something like that? So it is interesting, right? And that's why we brought it up. It kind of is a lull. I don't really anticipate at least an onslaught of new, users. I mean, you have a friend that tells someone to join in, and this friend tells, so I'm sure there's going to be new users here and there, right? And for the most part, they might buy one or two pieces or whatever, but like, I don't foresee this rush of new users without new product being released to do so. So, and again, it's 2 months until the season starts. Unless we find out something beforehand from Candy, if they make some announcement, then you might want to rush and get those guys now that you need. But it's like, if there's not going to be anything until the season, And there's 2 months of this.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So like until a new product gets released, until there's a new drop, you're not gonna. I don't really see you attracting that many new users, like you mentioned. So, and when you aren't having like that large influx of new users, you're not really having a large influx of buyers. So it's not going to cause prices to go up. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I would anticipate, I don't think this floor is going to like fall to drastic levels or anything like that. But I could see it, steadily going down for the foreseeable future. Now, something was just announced this past week that could possibly switch it back to the other direction, and that's rewards.
Yes, Jim. Speak to us. What are these rewards, or why am I collecting this set?
Yeah, so it was announced that, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but March 31st is basically when you have to complete either the All-Star set or the Prospect set or both. As long as you have the set completed by March 31st, you will qualify for the reward. They haven't announced what the reward is yet, but apparently they want to announce the reward before March 31st.
Yeah.
So I think that's the big thing there. If they announce what the reward is before March 31st, and it's something that can generate enough excitement to cause people to say, okay, I'm going to complete this set, then you're going to see prices start to go up a little bit more, because then you're going to start seeing people buying the current floors, which will then raise the floor. So I think I'm curious to see what that's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be, we've already seen them do similar things with the like the stadium series completions, and the Sweet Futures, I think, has a completion reward. So that we've already seen a little bit that they have. So we could probably assume it's going to be some sort of limited edition challenge reward NFT that you'll get. Who knows if there's going to be something else on top of that, but that's what they've done in the past for the previous challenges.
Yeah. And so like with us talking about the floors and the activity and such too, like I also don't want this to be misconstrued as if like this is a bad thing. Oh my God, these floors are dropping and whatnot. It just, for one, it is what it is. I completely believe, and I'm sure you're on that board with this too, like down the road, I mean, this stuff is going to be very, very extremely valuable. Again, everyone talks about like the mint counts and and like the players, like we're talking about the worst players. Every one of these were an all-star at one point. Like this, not one point, that was an all-star this year, So like they're the worst of the best, right? Is what we're getting at. Like, oh my God. Oh no, the Zach Wheeler is $40. He was a freaking Cy Young candidate. Right. So like all of these are really good moments to begin with. The mint counts are low. It just happens to be a buyer's market because it's just not, again, to make the comparison, there's just not the user base as Top Shot, but also there's not the amount of product in Top Shot, right? So it just kind of is what it is. But even with that being said, like if these floors are going to drop, I don't foresee at any point, as low as they might go, that anyone's going to lose money on their investment. I mean, for $50 a pack, no one's going to look at this, but oh man, I regret buying that. I only made $3,000 on this BS. This is terrible, So it's like at its lowest, what might, if this isn't the lowest, which I'm anticipating not to be, at its lowest, it's still a huge win for pretty much everyone it's in here. It just right now it's probably looking to be a buyer's market, and that just kind of is what it is until things start to pick up. But I'm with you. Like the challenge, I just didn't anticipate me being able to complete all these. And then it's like, you know what? Forget it. Because I was going to hold everything. And I'm like, you know what? I want to complete a set. I want to be part of this. I want to be part of something, Jim. So let me go ahead and sell off some of these all-stars, get some funds, go after the prospects, and be part of this. And yeah, I'm really excited. I know Hopefully we'll find out, but we do have to wait. The reward will come on or around August 1st. So there is a bit of a waiting game on that as well. So we'll find out what it's going to be. The good thing is you have to be completed on March 31st, right? You have to have this set. Each set qualifies. So if you completed both sets, you can get 2 challenge rewards. The difference is you can't have 2 of everything for one set. Like you can't complete the All-Star set twice. You still just get 1 reward. Also, if you're doing that, I mean, you've got enough rewards to you.
Yeah, if you're completing 2 sets, then you're okay.
Yeah, you probably don't need the reward, but actually, congratulations. But yeah, so then you're kind of waiting around till August 1st to get your reward. And I know there were some people that like kind of upset about this also. And I'm just a little bit confused. You know, I know there's a lot of stuff that, well, I guess for one, let's start with this way. The people, like Candy itself and the people, you know, behind the scenes with Candy, the admins, the social people, like they've all been pretty transparent with everything. Like I don't feel they hold back. They just can't legitimately say some things. And we don't know exactly why that is. But I mean, think about it. If you've ever been in a business, a company, right? Like you can't say things that are happening behind the scenes. There's probably legality issues. There's all kinds of reasons why people can't say things until it's finalized. You can do it, right? But they've told us this. It's not as if it's like they've been trying to sneakily hide this. Like, we're not going to tell them. I mean, they talk about the reward challenge, I feel like, every single day. It's not as if they've been mute to it. And because tens of thousands of people keep asking about the reward challenge, and they finally broke down and said, okay, sorry, guys, we're not going to have it. Like, they've told you from day one about this. We came into this knowing all of this. So I guess I don't understand why there's a lot. I'm not going to say a lot by any means either. I mean, we all know the loudest voices, you know, make the most waves, right? So it's not that there's a lot of people, but there's some very vocal. There's a small minority that's very vocal about this. I just don't understand why. I'm fully excited about this.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you look to see what their Stadium Chaser rewards, you know, go for on the secondary market, like the rewards for completing these sets are going to be valuable and not very common, right?
Jim,
I think as of right now,
I'm sorry, just to interrupt you. Back up. Say that again for us. Say it again.
These rewards aren't going to be common. Like they're going to be rare.
Speak to them.
Like so far from what I can tell, because there's a separate serve. You said you wanted to be part of something, DiNardo. There's a separate Discord server for people who have complete sets. Yeah, so
I'm not invited to that club
you
yet.
You want to be a part of that. But so far from what we can tell, there's 37 completed All-Star sets and 44 completed prospect sets. So not a lot. It's not a lot. So it's a limited group of people. And so these challenge rewards, they're going to be rare. Not going to be a lot out there unless people start sweeping these floors and getting it all done before March 31st.
But even at that, again, like relatively speaking, it's very young, it's very new, you know. At the very most, which can't, like, it's not going to happen, but only 409 possible, you know, that can happen in the All-Star Reward, because there's only 409 at most. The most mint count is 409. And, you know, we already know 80% of those are open right now. About 20% are still in packs. Not everyone's selling. Not everyone's doing all of that. So it's like at the very most, think about that. Think about 409. That's a very, very small number. Think about, we have to keep comparing, and I get it. And I'm sorry, Candy, but it just makes the most sense. But like, think about in Top Shot, if there was only 409 of something, you know, and the amount of people that are in Top Shot right now, like that's extremely rare. So again, think long term. Don't think so, you know, short minded and such. In 2 or 3 years, 409 at max is extremely exclusive. You know, if you're going to have 50, 60,000, you know, user base, and then of course much more than that as you keep going, right? Time keeps going down the line here. That's nothing. So, and where you're at right now, like you mentioned, the prospect is at 44.
44.
44. So I mean, okay, so that's literally nothing. 44, one of 44. That's a rare. That's a rare moment in one of these.
Mm-hmm.
So
epic. It's like an epic prospect.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. An epic prospect. Perfect. Right. So for free.
But you think about it, so right. And if you think about it, so to kind of use the Stadium Series Chaser as an example here, right? There were 71 people who completed the Stadium Series set, and you can't get one of those rewards for less than 2 ETH.
Mind you, by the way, right now, $5,200.
So just kind of let you know what that looks like. That's the Stadium Series that they did over this past year. 71 completions, 71 rewards, 2 ETH is the lowest priced out of those.
I'm still like, I almost want you to say it for the third time, Jim, because I'm still like confused on why anyone is upset. Like the same thing happened back then. Like there's going to be a reward. We can't just tell you yet. And then they revealed it. And like you said, Jim, 2 ETH. So we just gave you $5,000 for free and people are upset.
and like you said, I don't think it's like, we're not talking about a lot of people,
right?
Like there's maybe a couple people. Yeah, so I think any rational human being who's being given free things, they're going to take it. But
yes,
yeah,
so now think of this mindset, right? Because again, this is why I said I want to complete it, because something's going to happen, and I want that reward. I feel like it's going to be something of value. Don't know what it is yet, but I want to be part of it. And who knows what this might turn into as far as utility, or who knows what, right? But just say, for example, what it is that, right, with the Stadium Chasers. Just say that it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. If this prospect list is going to cost me $3,000 to complete, and then I get $5,000 gift for it, I mean, just try to think economically here as well. That makes a lot of sense. Maybe I should shoot for the All-Star 1 too. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like if I do the All-Star 1, I get the prospect for free. Actually,
you should do it. You should do
it. I get 2 things that cost 10 grand. I mean, that's the All-Star right there. So I should. It's a buy one prospect, get an All-Star for free.
Now we're gonna be disappointed if the challenge rewards aren't right? Worth 2 ETH. Yeah, right. Yeah, don't take that. Like the challenge rewards aren't going to do that, but that's just giving you an example of what their previous rewards are doing.
No financial advice here on this show, for sure. First off, don't trust me. Don't trust anything I ever say.
Don't trust anything we say.
But it's just, so I'm excited about the reward. I guess the other thing about the reward is the fact that they can't, it's going to be on August 1st or around it. So again, let's speculate a little bit here. They did mention, so we have I guess maybe some information on it. They did say in regards to the rewards, right? The serialization. So the serial numbers will be distributed randomly to all set collectors. So it's like, we know that there's something with a serial number, like it's not, I guess whatever you might think it might be, you can start Xing the stuff off if it doesn't make sense to have it serialized, right? So like it could be paks, it could be, like as you mentioned, like a specific NFT, something like that. But it definitely tells me it's probably gonna be something like, as far as an NFT it goes, not like a real life reward or something, or it might be added on top of it. It might be a bonus, right? But certainly something in the NFT realm, which of course makes sense.
Right.
So, are we going to speculate? I mean, it's after the trade deadline, which that's way too soon. I can't think of like to put, and again, perspective of Top Shot, like a Fresh Threads drop that's coming out or something. It's after the All-Star game. And that gives it enough time to do something. These paks are All-Star paks. Is there maybe something tied to the All-Star game this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're kind of looking at like a template, right, of like what Top Shot's been doing this year. If you have a complete set of the previous year, they're giving you free packs of that set for this year. So maybe that's something where you get like maybe you get you get your reward, which is an NFT, which is saying like, hey, I completed all this, right? And then maybe you get like the next all-star or the next uncut diamonds, pack drop that there is, you get like a free pack or something, right? Whatever it is, I'm with you. I think whatever the reward is going to be worth it. Like I said, everything that they've done so far up to this point has been worth it. So I'm just going to assume that this is also going to be worth it.
Right.
So yeah,
and they've also kind of teased that it's going to be worth it. Like this is pretty cool.
Yeah. So like that's my guess, is that it's something where you get like an actual reward, which is probably some sort of completion NFT, commemorative thing, and then you also get like maybe something for the next pack drop, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any like real life. I don't think there's, because by the end of this thing, you could probably have 70 to 80 people who complete the set. I don't really know if you can do real life things for that many people, but yeah, I think rewards based around the next series maybe could be something.
Yep. Yeah, either way, I think it'll be kind of cool. I saw some other people talk in the chat, which would be kind of cool as well. Again, going off of like Top Shot, it's almost as if you complete this, maybe the All-Star one, even though he wasn't an All-Star, but he was an MVP, which is also kind of weird that you're not one, but you end up being the other. Like maybe the challenge reward is a Bryce Harper moment, which would be kind of cool. And then like for the uncut diamond, it's Wander. You think about the two top players in each, kind of, because he started as a prospect Wander, like you think of top players in that sense, like that's your reward challenge. And of course it'd be like a 1 of 40, 1 of 70, something like that for each of them or something like that. Again, we don't know, a lot of speculation, but it was interesting that it's going to be August 1st. So of course the wheels start grinding, it's after the All-Star break. Why so late? What's going on behind the works? Why do they need to wait? Stuff like that. So of course we'll find out in about 2 months, and then it'll be completely different as it always is, but nice. And we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. So I guess the other big news to talk about this week in candy. So we keep talking about the floors dropping and prices dropping, but there was a day where there was a lot of money exchanging hands in just a few transactions, though. Jim, and mind you, let's pull this up here. There was a big day, and Shohei Ohtani was part of that day. Where did it go? Here it is. 2 sales. We got the Shohei Ohtani Legend sold for $100,000.
It's a lot of money. $100,000.
Yep, a lot of money. And then it was like shortly after where another Shohei, it was an epic, but it was his jersey number, sold for $36,000. So big day for candy, big day for a couple of sellers. And you could also maybe say a big day for the people that bought those. I mean, of course, it's a big day for them. But what I find interesting, and maybe get your feedback on this, because I kind of agree. $100,000 is a lot of money. However, a lot of people looked at it and said, just $100,000? No, I mean, again, you dangle $100,000 in front of my face. It's going to be hard for me to say no. Right. But that's kind of like what we're living in right now. Looking at that, and some people said $100,000. Why'd you do it? So what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I don't know. Like if I had the Shohei Ohtani Legendary NFT, I honestly don't know what I would do.
After you cleaned up your pants?
If somebody, Right. I don't know what I would do if somebody was like, I'll give you $100,000 for that. Because $100,000, like you mentioned, is a whole lot of money.
Whole lot
And
of money.
and
Where's
and I
AB at?
think I'm with you where not only though is it a whole lot of money, but at the same time, I think you could also see a situation where like it's worth more than that. Um so yeah, it's kind of surprising to see that it's sold so quick because that is the best pull so far, in the project, is that Ohtani Legendary. And yeah, congrats to the seller, congrats to the buyer. Big days for both people. And I think it's a win. I think it's a win for the seller. He's got $100,000. Win for the buyer because I think it definitely has the potential to go higher than that. And then it's a big win for the project overall because hey, they just had something sell for $100,000.
Right. So that's a win-win-win. I love it.
That's the win-win-win.
The win-win-win. And I'm totally with you. I mean, it's a huge win just for the space. I mean, like, I can't count, but the number of articles that were written now, given like exposure to Candy, right? Ohtani, $100,000 moment sold, or card sold, whatever they want to call it, like is in Yahoo. It was all over the place. So Candy getting the exposure, which again, good for us also. Good for everyone else. That was a quad win.
Mm-hmm.
The very extreme quad win. Because it was even good for me. And I had nothing to do with it. Because, that is a potential way of getting people exposed to it and saying, hey, what's this? Let me find out. Or that person's like, oh, I had a jersey that I haven't logged into the account for, that I got for free. And now something sold for $100,000. Let me check up on that jersey now. So like, it's good for the exposure, but I'm with you. And here's the thing too, because I see it everywhere, like people yelling at people because they sold so low or whatever. You know what? Everyone is in a different space. And this is a very good example. Could that person have sold it for more than $100,000? Probably. I think that I would bet money that they could. But again, if you're going to dangle $100,000 in front of my face right now, it's kind of hard to turn that down. And that could change a lot of people's lives right now for maybe what they're going through. And it's like,
yeah,
that person's getting $100,000. Let the new person hold it to gain the value and make more. I'm okay with it. I got $100,000. The situation I'm in right now, that helps me, that lets me do whatever. Hey, maybe I'm taking $50,000 and I'm buying maybe I turned and flipped it and bought like 3 Mike Trouts right now, epics or rare, whatever, that I found undervalued. You don't know, but I don't ever feel like you should yell and blame someone else for selling something too low, especially in this situation. I mean, $100,000, like congratulations. You just made the news like everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, you're a national news story, because of that sale.
Right. So yeah, big, huge shout out to everyone involved in that. And then like it turned around, like that person didn't even like get their night. It was like 30 minutes later, maybe if that, then the jersey epic sold for $36,000. I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And Jim, I thought it was just so funny because if you looked at the marketplace right then and there, it was just, I mean, all you saw, I felt like, was every epic going up. Every epic. And then, and not only that, because $100,000 was, of course, the record. I can't tell you how many like Mike Trouts or whatever I saw listed for $100,001. It's like
$1,001.
Right. I mean, it was just a madhouse of everything being listed now. Every epic went up. Every Trout Ohtani was going up. But that was it. There was really only two that bit that night.
Yeah, you can get the serial number 1 Ohtani epic right now for $350,000. It's on the marketplace.
There you go. No financial advice. But if you're listening, you should buy that. Also, make sure you buy Chuck Butta's his legendary Trey Turner. because he's dying to sell that.
Yeah, I said if you got 20K laying around, there's a Trey Turner out there. I'm not speaking for him, but you dangle 20K out there, he might take it.
And compared to Ohtani, we talk about, that's pennies on the dollar. It's cheap.
Yeah, right. And to be honest with you, Trey Turner at this point in time probably has a better chance of making the Hall of Fame than Shohei Ohtani. Like if I had to put money on it, I'm taking Turner over Ohtani.
Now, how much of a cut is Chuck giving you on this right now? Because it sounds like you might be investing.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I need to be like his broker.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways. And so we do have a couple comments in here, which by the way, so Flipping Candy. Also go check out his videos. He does some really good stuff, very informative on everything that's happening in the candy space. Go check him out. But he says, yeah, he 100% agrees with time value of money. I mean, right. You know, like that might sell for $1 million in 5 years, but you got $100,000 right now in your pocket. Some people need it more. That person has $100,000 expendable funds. I don't. So good for him. He can look at an investment and he can get his win later on in life. And then that person buys it for $1 million and get his win 20 years down the road, right? I mean, just how it works. And everyone is okay. That's how you just keep the line winning. Dave White did
keep
ask,
in mind.
Oh,
also
bad.
keep in mind, it came from a $50 pack.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
it did. And your trout that you're sitting on came from your unopened pack and unsold pack. Talk about winning. You're sitting on a trout, which you're taking a huge L on.
The trout is sitting in one of my unopened packs. I don't know which one, but it's there.
Right. So you're taking an L, but what you are doing though, Jim, is you're single-handedly making everyone else more income by holding it. Because with that trout unopened, those packs are worth money. So in all reality, everyone owes you a bit of percentage on their profits.
Yeah, anybody who sells a pack, you're welcome. You know, I'm a man of the people.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, Dave also asked how many cards in the set. So it depends on the set, right? So the All-Star set has 81, and then the Prospect set has 30. 81 and 30. The Prospect set is sitting at, like, if you started from scratch and you wanted to complete the Prospect set, I think it would cost you just a little bit over $3,100 right now. All-Star set, a little bit under $11,000 to complete the set.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just in talking, the uncut diamonds went up about $70. Look at that. Go. So we are.
You better finish that set. You better finish that set, Donardo.
Everyone's tuning in and hearing about the good value, so they're all buying up the floors now.
Yep, that's what it is. Well, I did see, we were talking about that Soto. There was a Soto that just sold for $589.
There you go.
Yeah,
you guys are welcome. We're so powerful here. So yeah, big, huge week for candy. I get, like, just in that realm, you know, like the exposure, the coolness, and also, I mean, if today, let's also kind of compare. Today, MLB The Show was revealed that Ohtani's on the cover, so it's like, talk about, you know, a win right there.
Right. But I mean, it's one of those things where, like, you know how you're on Twitter and when Eminem buys a Bored Ape Yacht Club and everybody goes crazy because he spent, you know, whatever amount of money on it. So, I mean, this is a big day for this project where, like, I mean, they had $100,000 sale, and really you've only been able to buy and sell these things for 2 weeks.
That's
so
a good
after
point.
2 weeks, in 2 weeks worth of buying and selling, we've hit the $100,000 sale mark on one NFT. Pretty impressive.
That wasn't a $50 pack.
Yeah. It was like came out of a $50 pack. Yeah.
God. Yep. So yeah, there was good news on that. Maybe a little bit other like good news, a little bit of exposure, but you know, we have some fun with this. The Gibson gang, right? The Coochie gang. So someone in the Candy Discord, you know, I forget who it was now specifically, but someone in the Discord, we all know about Cameo, right? You can reach out, have people say things, do things, whatever. I'm still having Anthony Alford say yours, Jim, but I digress. No, but you know, someone went in there and had Gibson shout out like candy and people buying them and telling them to hold it and all this. I have the video, we'll play it, but it's also the kind of thing like, so just getting like random MLB players, just talking about it and such. You know, Brett Phillips has been an AMA in there. Really cool guy. Talking in there. Good discussion. He jokingly said how like when he gets on first base this year, he's going to ask Anthony Rizzo about his candy collection. You know, so like you have like even MLB players like spreading the word. So here's actually Kyle Gibson and his cameo for you guys to hear.
FD, what's up, man? This is Kyle Gibson from the Phillies. Mr. Jonathan Scott wanted me to, first off, congratulate you on getting the 1-of-1 Kyle NFT Candy Digital. I saw a little bit of chatter on Twitter the other day. I didn't really know how to respond, though, because I'm not too much into the NFT sites and NFT sector yet. But I have seen a little bit of it, and some of them look really cool. So thanks for going on to MLB and doing that. But congratulations on pulling the Kyle Gibson NFT. Do not sell it. That's what Jonathan wants me to let you know. Do not sell it, or I personally will come by and not inflict harm, but possibly just buzz a fastball right up here, just to scare you a little bit. He told me that would be the punishment if you end up selling it. So hope you have a good time. If you get to go to spring training, enjoy some spring training. But I am sure you're looking forward to some baseball games coming up in April. But go Phillies and hold on to the NFT. Later, buddy.
Yeah. So there's Kyle Gibson. I mean, shout out to Candy, right? This was on Twitter, so anyone who's following him sees this and they get to see like, hey, what's Candy? You know, let me look into this. So, and just, I mean, also just like the cool factor. I mean, we saw how Gibson gang blew up, and then now Kyle Gibson is literally in on it. So shout out to all Gibson gang in Candy.
And yeah, like you mentioned, we've already seen quite a few players kind of just drop in on the Discord, have fun with the community. Jared Parker, Brett Phillips, Justin Turner's in there. So yeah, I think, as this thing grows, you're probably gonna have more and more people in there. I mean, if you kind of compare it to Top Shot, there's a ton of NBA players who, kind of all who were in on Top Shot, and I would expect that this gets. This will get to that point, I think, eventually, where you've got a lot of players, kind of, especially like play of the days and things like that. If you have players tweeting about plays of the day and those sorts of things, it could get pretty fun.
Yep, for sure. So pretty cool. So again, big week for Candy as far as the MLB stuff. I guess just like a few like quick hits announcements. So Candy also, we did talk about this. They like teased it, right? That they're going to have the college, the sweet futures, right? For the college basketball. So they did say, of course, that is coming up soon. Now some of the players are involved with it. So we'll have more details on those. Also made a pretty big announcement as well about Candy Racing. Got a whole line. We know they got the racing things, so they'll be doing that. I know myself. I talked how like I'm not huge in NBA anymore, right? But Top Shot, like you, like it brought us into it. I watch MLB football, but like there's stuff that I'm not really big into, like even UFC, right? I don't watch UFC, but I bought the pack. I mean, I don't want to say I apologize, Candy, but I don't know if I'm really going to be involved in getting into the racing because I just can't get into racing. I just can't do it. I mean, I'm probably going to degen and get into a pack the first time, like I did UFC. But I don't know how deep I will, or maybe this show will. I don't know, Jim. Maybe you are. We'll get into racing, but I'm probably not.
Yeah, I'm. So like my grandfather was really big into racing. I've got an uncle who's really big into it. I never really picked it up I will say this though, like when it comes to live events, that like it's one of those things you have to appreciate live. I did go to one NASCAR race one time, and it was super fun. Like it was a blast. But I can't really bring myself to like sit down and watch it on TV or anything like that. As far as NASCAR NFTs go, like you mentioned, I'm definitely not going to be like completing any sets by any means, but like if packs are out there and they're reasonable and it's something fun to get into, and I feel like, you know, so far Candy's done a good job with everything they've done, I may dabble in them, right? It's definitely not going to be a huge thing that I do, but I could see myself dabbling in it.
Yeah, I'm like a firm believer in you probably should collect things that you like. Now, money, you know, money makes the world go round, and I like money and things are profitable. You probably want to get into that as well. But it's like, even though I don't pay too much attention to NBA, I love basketball. Like, that's my first love, basketball, like way over baseball. So like getting into it was easy. You know, of course, baseball, like all the stuff that I'm into, like I like it. The UFC, like I said, I bought one pack, but even on that, like I like what Dapper's doing, like the Top Shot ecosystem, right? But I don't foresee myself getting into the UFC just because I don't follow it. So I would be useless. You know, I couldn't find, I feel like it would be a challenge. I would force myself to do what I need to do. And I'd probably make dumb decisions because I don't know who is anyone. You know, I'd be the person like selling the Wander Franco for $20 because I didn't know Wander Franco was good. Right? Like that.
You'd be selling the Wander of NASCAR. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, and I feel like the same thing with the NASCAR, right? I probably buy a pack to buy it, right? And I'm sure it's going to be profitable. But it would be a chore for me to do it. So I'm not the person Candy is looking at for this one. So we might talk about here and there for things, but I don't know how deep we'll go into the NASCAR stuff. But college hoops, Sweet Futures, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the college hoops is pretty neat. And then it sounds like they're doing the Sweet Futures in a similar way that they did the Sweet Futures for football, where you'll actually be able to just buy that player as opposed to having like packs. So kind of interesting. I don't know how, like they had just announced their first lineup. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that they're gonna have here in the first release. So looks like Chet Holmgren is kind of the main guy there. He was #1 recruit in the country going into this year.
Give me him.
He's gonna be a top pick in the NBA. Like, the dude's pretty good. So I can imagine he's gonna be pretty popular. Yeah, there's some pretty good players on this list, really. So and it's, if you kind of like, hey, if you're going to collect these guys in Top Shot at some point, these are kind of like their pre-Top Shot NFTs. How Top Shot debuts are worth a whole lot. Who knows what these are gonna do, because these are gonna be kind of their first. So it's interesting. Just another thing where if you're into college basketball, it's going to be a fun thing that you can collect.
That's a really good point. Something I didn't think too deeply into. That could be a nice entryway of, acquiring a lot of like Top Shot space over here, into Candy. Of course, maybe not like MLB stuff. I mean, maybe some people cross over degen into it, but you're right. I mean, there is a lot, like Top Shot is kind of the OG, the space. We all understand that and get that. So this is kind of like the pre Top Shot. You get the futures now, you start collecting them, because in a year from now you get the Top Shot debut, and you have the whole line. You got the Candy Sweet Futures, now you got the Top Shot debut, now you got all that. So that's that's an interesting way of looking at it. That might bring some.
I mean, you got to think if
over.
you're. Yeah, and I mean, a lot of these fan bases that these kids go to, Memphis, Gonzaga, Alabama, Notre Dame, like they've got pretty rabid fan bases. So you may just be attracting people just from that alone. Like, I know if there was a Louisville player who they had, like, I would be buying that NFT. Like, it would.
If Louisville got some good players, right? Maybe you find one.
That's true. Louisville needs good players before they can get to this point. But yeah, I think you're gonna, by doing this, it's just another thing that they're offering. So if this is something that is something that you want to collect, by all means you can collect it, and it could potentially bring some new people into the space who are college basketball fans but don't necessarily follow baseball or NASCAR now, right? Just another group to bring into the fold.
Correct. So with that said, it's been a big week, a big beginning of the year too for Candy. And that's another thing too, like for those that are like wondering about the rewards and all this other stuff, like there's so much as we talk and see right now that's going on with Candy that I mean the growth is there. It's just they got to grow it. And that's what they're doing right now. So I cannot wait for everything that we're going to see from Candy, into this year and such. But with that said, I think that pretty much wraps up everything with our Candy talk and news, unless there was anything else you had as well.
I think that's it. Yeah.
All right.
It was a good week.
It was definitely.
We're seeing prices go down, but they're not by any means anything crazy. And yeah, a lot of good news from this week.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys want to keep the prices dropping, I need some players. So let them go. I'm good with it. I'll let you guys know when you can ramp them back up.
Yeah.
But so I guess this is the portion where we kind of go to the other stuff. So if you're here just for the Candy, we're pretty much done with that now. We had a question here. It's a good transition. We did have a question earlier about Jeff G popped into the stream. No, we didn't talk about it at that point in time. So I guess we can quickly talk about Topps because they did tease something today. If you're a baseball fan, turn on notifications. Which I looked at that like two ways. I mean, it's Topps NFT. So I'm like, of course it makes sense that it'd be something about Topps. But I said it to you too. I'm like, the MLB and MLBPA is meeting today. Like, and they said baseball fans, not like trading cards or Topps fans, stuff like that. I'm like, is Topps about to break some news before like anybody else? Is Topps coming out here and saying baseball's back? That didn't happen. So maybe you can take the floor more on this because as Jeff does say, rumor is Topps is dropping Gypsy Queen, which you talked about last week slightly. Is that your speculation?
I mean, that would be what I would think. I think when you texted me that right off the bat, I was like, it's probably Gypsy Queen. They were supposed to release it in Q4 of last year, but because of all of the issues with the payment processing, they kind of pushed that off, which was a good idea considering how their postseason drop went. But yeah, I would expect probably here tomorrow that Topps will drop 2021 Gypsy Queen. I know it's 2022 right now, but that would be my guess. And so if you're into Topps and you're into sports cards, I'm sure you know of Gypsy Queen. It's a set that they produce. It's one of those sets where like Inception, I think just the eye appeal of it could work in the NFT space, right? It's going to be different than just like Series 1 or Series 2 Topps where it's just white border picture. There's not a whole lot of flair to those cards. Gypsy Queen's got some flair to it, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. I would anticipate that the Gypsy Queen drop does significantly better than the postseason drop, which still hasn't sold out. They're still sitting there for sale. I don't know what they're going to do with those. At some point, you've got to just burn the remaining packs. Like these things have been for sale for 3 months now. Like, at least reward the people who did buy them and say, "Hey, all your stuff."
They did.
The mint count. They what?
They did reward us, Jim. They gave us the bazooka pack, and I didn't even get my snow globe.
All right, so I thought you were like, I thought I missed something. And I was like, what?
No.
Oh,
I was reminding you of
at least
they did reward us. It wasn't the reward you're talking of, but they did reward us, Jim.
Yeah. Reward those of us who did buy the postseason packs and say, hey, you know what? Your mint counts just went significantly lower than what they were before. So that would be nice. But no, I could see the Gypsy Queen drop going well. It's going to be similar to their other main sets that they copy off of their physical sets. And all of those up to this point have sold out rather quickly, right? So whether it was Series 1, Series 2, Inception, all of those have sold out quick. So I would expect the same out of Gypsy Queen. I'm not sure if it'll bring the rest of the product up or what, or if it'll attract new people. I'm not exactly sure. Inception does seem to be doing fairly well over on Tops. It's really the only thing right now that does seem to be doing well. There's been some big soccer cards pulled here and there, but I'm not really into the soccer stuff. But yeah, it's look for that next. If you're into the top stuff, tomorrow or later this week, I would imagine Gypsy Queen gets announced, and you'll probably see a drop for that soon.
Cool. So I'm probably getting that then, right? I mean, you've already talked me into it.
Tops.
I love Tops. I mean, I'm probably getting into it. Let's put it that way. So tell me how much I need. Just gonna have to wait a couple days more for the prospect I'm saving up for because of a Gypsy Queen. But
so that's another thing. Like, I wonder if Tops has kind of learned that, like, the Inception packs are doing so well because there's like 40 or 50 NFTs in a pack, right? There's like 40 or 50 cards in a pack. Those Series 2 packs that they charge the exact same amount for, there's like, you hardly get anything. And so I'm wondering if they'll kind of reassess their pricing and reassess kind of like what is in a pack with these. Gypsy Queen is a relatively small set, so it's sort of like Inception in that, like, it's not like Series 1 or Series 2 where it's a 350, 400 card set. So it's a smaller set as far as the number of people in it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. The other cool thing about Gypsy Queen that I don't think we've seen in the other sets is, it's got like legends in it, so like old players. So if you're like a Pirates fan, like Hannes Wagner has a card in there, Roberto Clemente has a card in there. If you're a Yankees fan, there's Babe Ruth, right? That's something that Gypsy Queen has that we haven't seen yet in anything else. So something to consider there.
That's okay. I'm sold. As underwhelming the product has been so far, I again, like the one takeaway, at least with the playoff one, was this is going to be Wander's very first NFT. That's the one takeaway. If there's one good thing, which is a really good thing, it's that. I mean, that's going to be the Roberto Clemente's first NFT. That's going to be like all those people were talking about. Like, that's their first NFT is coming from this. So how cool is that? And now that we know Tops is part of Fanatics, right? We don't know how that's all going to intertwine down the road, but it's all the same company now and such. So carry us, Fanatics, take us to the promised land. But like, that's their first NFT, so that's really cool. It's not coming from Candy, like it's coming from them. So you got me sold. I'm getting some packs. Just praying.
There you go.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess that does it for our Tops news as well. So we'll move on there. No, I mean, I guess now we can kind of just talk a little bit about the Top Shot all day. We each did our weekend challenge. It was fairly easy. Did you by chance find out the actual mint count on that Kevin Love reward challenge?
I can look it up.
So over the weekend, Top Shot had the challenge where you had to get the top rebounders over the weekend. Also, with that said, so I guess we'll respond. We're back. So the top rebounders, there wasn't really too many like bottlenecks in the to begin with. Like what I actually did was I went through the top 60 rebounders in the NBA, top rebounders per game. Right, of the top 60, there was only I think just 2 rookies that I didn't have. Now, of course, I have 3 of them now that so I guess there's like 5. None of them were even close to making it. So it was a pretty easy challenge to do. But there was one player there was one player who would have been in it, but he doesn't have a top shot. His brother does, Jim. His brother has a top shot. And if you type that player in, it doesn't say no results found. It just takes you to his brother. And this is a big thing. A lot of people got caught in this, I included. Purchased.
Oh, did you really? You
purchased his brother. I didn't tell you?
Well, you told me that a lot of people were doing it, but you didn't tell me you did.
Oh. Yes. Yes, I did. And now I forget his name. Is it Hernan Gomez?
I don't even know.
I'm not sure. Shoot. Anyway, so the guy is a pretty good player. His brother, not so much. I think I counted for the year he has 22 points on the season. So not too good. Here it is. So yeah, Juancho Hernan Gomez. He is in Top Shot. His brother, who was the one that was in the rebounds, is not. So it takes you to him. And so here's me doing my research, right? Let me scoop him up, because if he's going to be in the leader, right? Because like it was a Saturday night at the time. Like I think he had 17 boards that night, and it's like, let me scoop him up now. I'll take the risk because it's a debut moment. It was going for like $24 at the time. And when you look, it went up to 40 that day. And then it settled at 27. So I was like, it's only $3 more than what it normally is. If I buy now and he's not in the challenge, it's a $3 loss. Who cares? But if I buy now and he is in the challenge, this is a bottleneck, Jim. This could go to like $300. So I bought it. But it doesn't stop there, Jim. I didn't tell you. I didn't buy one either. I bought another one because it's so cheap. So here's mine to keep. Here's mine to make my $300. And then I don't know what I was doing or why I thought of this, but I went, you know why? Because I thought about, I'm like, how did he just like explode to the scene and no one knew about him? Let me look at his game log also. Like, did he just start this one day and he won't play again? Because like, why is it dropping down also? So I looked him up and I was like, well, he didn't play the game before. And it says here, coach's decision didn't play the game before that. Coach's decision didn't play the game before that. And I'm like, and he's got like no games played. And I'm so confused. And that's when I looked, I was like, wait, that's not the same name. What's going on here? So funny story to that. Yeah, I purchased 2 of them. That's when I realized, because I was going to keep going. And that's when I realized I need to stop.
Just buy them all. Just buy all of them. Yeah.
Right. But you know what's funny about the whole thing too?
That's great.
So I told you I bought it for $27. Realizing that, I listed them for $26 right away, and immediately they both sold. So everyone was falling victim to this, and it was hilarious.
Well, there you go. Yeah, but the challenge was super easy. There were, I had it up here, 15,777 completions. The Kevin Love reward that we're about to open, it's going for $11 right now.
I mean,
which is by far the lowest fandom from Series 3.
Yeah. With how easy it was obtained, I'm not shocked on the amount. I will say
it was really easy.
I expected more to complete it. Like, well, honestly, I expected it to be in the 20,000 range. I mean, 15,000 seems kind of low for pretty much moments probably everyone has already. And if you don't, like they're only increased. I think the most was like $9.
Yeah. I think like Wendell Carter Jr. got up to $9 or $10. That was probably the highest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So interesting. Yeah. Okay. So
15,777.
Yeah. Also, I mean, for the fandoms, a high mint count, but I expected more than that. Take that for what it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Tonight's is going to be difficult.
Wait, what is tonight's?
Like top 5 scorers and top 5 assists.
Oh.
And it looks like Tyrese Maxey is sneaking in there.
Oh, I got him.
No way you do.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh no. No, I'm thinking of somebody else. Well, I'm out.
His cheapest, he only has a debut moment from Series 2, and it's $517. So
Did I have this at one point and sell it? Like I feel like
that
I
is
had it.
that is a really good moment to have, though. Like until he gets a Series 3 moment, like that's a good moment to have, because he's their starting point guard. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Remember the minutes played and you sent me that list? He was on it.
I'm sure he was up there. Yeah.
I bet I didn't buy it. I bet he was one of the most expensive ones then. I didn't. Oh well.
Yeah.
Either way,
he just has that one.
Yeah.
So. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, he has a metallic gold now too. Technically, that just came out.
True. Yeah.
So, but that's at $740 now. So,
good luck.
All right. Okay. So I guess we'll open the challenges.
How about I'll go first, and then we can just move into the next one. So
that works.
Yeah. All right. Am I up there?
Yep.
Okay, so let's go see how we did here. So we got Kevin Love. So we're looking for something low serial number. $68.92. Not a low serial number.
Tis not.
And it's impossible to get a Kevin Love jersey number. He's number 0.
That's a good point.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's my $11 Kevin Love. But hey, I didn't have to. I think I had to buy one moment from that. It was like $5. So cost me $5 to get $11.
And I'm sure that's probably selling for $5 too. So it's not like you're taking any losses. I'm sure either. You know.
Yeah. So I'm good with that.
Cool. All right.
Cool.
Well, then let me go and get mine up. Probably could have done that already.
That's all we got, though. The challenges were tough this past week. I feel like every single challenge from last week, other than that one, had a real tough bottleneck in it.
Yep. All right, Kevin, give me some love.
UCLA's finest.
Okay, 32.51. What is
how many
go ahead.
How many Series 2 packs you got?
Still 3. Because it's like either the challenge they've had where they've released it, just like you mentioned this week, like they've been hard, I haven't been able to do it, or they haven't really released like packs lately. It's all been these fandom moments.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of the fandom moments for rewards lately. So I don't think there was a single reward last week that was a Series 2 pack.
No, what they were doing, like for the harder ones, right? The challenges they're giving like rare packs, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, haven't been too many like base packs, or like they had like some like archive packs and stuff like that. It's just been like these, which again, no complaints. Either way, it's free.
I'll take a free moment. Yeah.
Right. So cool. All right. Yep. There's still my 3 and my 1 WNBA. All right.
Okay.
So I guess just before we do go, we'll just also talk and make the announcement, because I think this is actually kind of big in 2 different ways. So they're dropping the KD certified pack, right? They have the elite and the standard pack. Standard's 4 moments, $19. The certified is $49 for 5. I thought it was 6. It says 5 here.
I mean, the elite pack. Yeah.
Yeah, the elite. My bad.
Yep.
Wasn't that 6 though? 3 common, rare. Include 5 moments, 4 guaranteed. Okay, so it is 5.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool because these are like handpicked by Kevin Durant. And there's some moments in there where like he talks on them. Something different, something that Top Shot's adding. Like he's talking about the moment. So like it's kind of cool. Like it's Kevin, and we see like how involved he's been in Top Shot, recently, what they've done with him. So I think like the pack itself is kind of cool. But what I find very interesting, and this is the first time we're seeing it, so I don't know if this changes things in the future, but this is the first time they're having like tiered rarities. Like it's not just a common pack and you're getting 4 uncommons. It's the lottery rolls, right? It's you could get a rare, you could get a legendary, right? And here's your odds of doing it. Top Shot has been completely away from that. That's how we've been comparing like the candy, and now All Day's doing it. Now the UFC's doing it, right? But Top Shot is just common packs, rare packs, legendary, all that. So here you see for the first time in Top Shot where you have the opportunity of getting some rare moments. What are your thoughts on this?
I love it. I mean, I know like the standard packs, it's a long shot, right? Like the odds are you're going to be getting common moments, but you do have the chance in a $19 standard pack to not only get, one of the moments that KD's picking out, but you also have a chance at getting a rare, like an MGLE. You have a chance at getting a holo icon like the legendary. So it's a very small chance on those last two, but the fact that they're in there and that you can get those in a standard pack makes me think 2 things. One, that maybe we'll see more of this, which I like. Like I like being able to at least have the chance in those packs. And then 2, could we actually see how we talk about candy and how the packs are worth something? Like, is this going to raise the value of like an unopened pack once Top Shot gets to the point where they can sell packs? Because it's like, hey, there's a shot that there's something in there, as opposed to just a bunch of commons. So like my strategy going into this is I'm going to get as many as I can, but I'm going to hold one of them. I'm not going to open one of them.
Wow. You blew my mind there, because I wasn't thinking that at all. I mean, I was thinking, loving the fact that this is the first time it's happening. And I'm not going to say they're going to completely deviate from what they've done. And this is like the start of them doing what Candy and All Day, you have the different rarities. I have this feeling that this is their ecosystem. This is what they've done. That's what they continue. But maybe here's a way of adopting it, and maybe we'll have some drops where it's this way. It's not just a rare drop and only a small percentage of people can get in on it, right? It's a larger group of people who can join, but it doesn't mean everyone's getting one. So maybe this is a way of them switching it up and appeasing to both sides of the spectrum here. But I didn't think about the way it interacts with those who hold packs, because you're right. This has the same thing. Like the trout's still out there. So this was, for your case, $19 or $49 to buy. And there's this legendary that's still available. So maybe I'll degen in on this $19 pack for $500, hoping I can get it. What a come up.
Yeah.
Because there's also a good chance that $19 pack might equate to $12.
Right.
If they're in the challenge.
Yeah. So I mean that's my thing is I think you'll see a lot of people holding on to these packs. And I like it how it's kind of tiered. It's tiered to collector score. So like everybody's going to have the chance to buy them, but the higher your collector score, the more you can buy.
Yes.
So like I think for the standard packs, everybody can buy one, If you're at a certain level, you can buy 2. If you're at a certain level, you can buy 3. I think it goes all the way up to where some people can buy 5.
Here it is. 4 is the most.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a 0 collector score, you can buy 1 pack. 1,000 or more, 2. 3,000 or more, 3. 5,000 or more, 4. There's 135,000 packs available. And you're right. I like that. Yeah. That's how I felt like the collector scores to be. It's not so much
because then you're not keeping anybody out, right? Like everybody can still get in, but you are rewarding those people who have put in the effort, put in the dollars, put in the time to build up a collector score, and that they can get more.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't hate that.
It's like the reverse of the NBA lottery. Like instead of rewarding the worst team in basketball, though, you're rewarding like the best. Like they get the most they get the most balls into the lottery. Yeah. So I like,
but again, like
pretty much everything about
they're not keeping anybody out. Right. Everybody at least gets a shot at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I like how they interpreted the collector score in this. So I think this is huge. I think this is big on, like I said, a lot of fronts. So just KD being involved in it, the way he is, they're his moments, but just the fact that they're tiered as well. And now, like you mentioned about the packs, I'm about to buy as many as I can as well, and I might just open 1.
And then the other thing too, we keep talking about this, how like Top Shot is valuing people who have complete sets. So like all those complete set holders are getting free packs. So like if you look at the standard pack again, I mean, it's like 6 or 7 different sets are all getting airdropped packs, right? So all those sets, if you hold any of those, you're getting airdrop packs. So it just kind of goes to show that they're really valuing those complete sets. So take that for what it's worth. I know this series 3, I was like, you know what, I'm doing hustle and show, I'm doing fresh threads, just because down the road it seems like those are going to be valuable.
Yep, I'm with you. So for the elite pack, there's going to be 22,000 of them. Your odds of getting the rarities are a little bit higher. But also, once again, like you mentioned, well, yeah, for collector scores, 10,000 or more, you get 1 pack, 25,000 2, 50,000 3, and 100,000 5 packs. But here's their airdrop. So like you get 3 packs if you, of course, they're the more rare ones. But if you hold, these ones, you're getting 3 airdrop to you. And then if you hold,
that's $150 in free packs.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good reward
for now.
Right.
So you're right. I mean, they are rewarding those who are collecting. So that's really cool. And I think that's also why you're seeing like the value like rise. I mean, as much as everyone was down on Series 3 this year, stuff's holding it because of how they're rewarding people by doing so. Again, with all the nightly challenges and all the stuff they're doing, with these being airdropped to those, it's rewarding to collect.
Right.
All right. Yeah, so really cool news. Oh yeah, I already opened mine. So I'm excited this. And this is Thursday. This Thursday it drops. Can't wait. I'm excited. All right. So I guess I'll move on to my all day.
Let's do it. So you were lucky enough to get it, and this just an unbelievable slate of games in the divisional round. So I'm really excited to see this pack. I was so bummed I didn't get it. Like I was actually able to get into the queue because they were having site issues all day. I was able to get in the queue relatively early, and then I look at the number and it's like 44,000. I'm like, wait a minute, there's only 29,000 packs. I was like, So
yeah. To continue, I guess, our conversation from the opening of the show, right? They did have issues, which again, it's all beta. I mean, you have to expect issues. I guess the one downside, I should say, to this, I don't want to say it's concerning, but they did have a lot of issues. I mean, just traffic, I think, brought down the site. Like you couldn't access the site. They had to postpone the drop every half hour. It's like, all right, another half hour. Like I do look at it as it is Dapper. It's all the same company. Like you have Top Shot. Like this isn't the first go. They've done this already with Top Shot. So it's almost as if like you would expect they would know a little more. But again, this isn't, it's still beta. Like things like this are going to happen, which again, go back to everyone talk about candy or whatever. Like this is all beta. So there was certainly some issues with this drop. I think it was the first time there was any like big issues in that sense, accessing it. But once the site was back up, I mean, it all went smooth. But I'm with you, Jim. And that's why I feel so bad. And I guess, I mean, they just really opened up the beta this week. I was just expecting it to be pretty much how it's been. Like you're going to get a pack. We're getting packs. I wasn't anticipating that there was going to like maybe be a possibility I don't get one. You know, it was almost assumed like, okay, when we get our packs, we'll open them up. But yeah, you said you're 44.
44, yeah.
So there was what 27,000 you said? I forget the exact numbers too. 27, 29, something like that.
I think there were 29,000 packs available.
Okay. I saw on Twitter the highest number I saw was 59,000. So we're not in that world anymore where we're pretty much guaranteed a pack. So it kind of sucks.
Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. But at the same time, that's a lot of people to be in a drop like this early. So it's good for all day. I think this stuff's going to take off. They're going to have a lot of users.
That's where I was going. I was going to ask you on that because like I feel like there's two ways you can go. Well, I mean, there's only one way. It's good. It's good all around. But I think everyone was saying how, well, I guess it's not closed anymore. They let everyone in, but technically it is closed. So I guess theoretically, there still are people waiting. And even if there wasn't, and the gates are open, everyone's allowed in. Like you said, that's 59,000 people that are in this already. That's great news to hear. I mean, it sucks for those that don't get them. Yes, I don't mean to say it that way, Jim, but like it does. It sucks. Because I think
it sucks for you, Jim.
there was a lot.
It really sucks.
Only Tong and myself that I know of got them. Everyone else missed out. So again, you're going into this where you just get this one. Like the premium pack for 250 is one where you have lower odds of getting it. But everyone gets these ones. So, you know, we are in that space where you're not just being able to get this, you know, for sure, but that's 60,000 people right now. I mean, just based off Top Shot that's been around for how long? 60,000 people don't get in every drop. And that's not closed. That's open for whomever. So for this to already be at 60,000, like that's big to me.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Let's see what you got.
So
there were some really cool moments in the divisional round. So yeah, let's see how this goes.
Last week, I got Ben Roethlisberger. It was his last touchdown. Yep. Is it possible?
It was all commons too. So let's see if we can maybe do something else too.
But is it possible that Tom Brady's last touchdown is in this pack now? Because think of that aspect. Now, I know it's not, it's just rumored. He didn't announce anything, but there's a lot of talk. This is it for him. And I think a lot of people who are in all day, especially that have his moment, are praying that he retires because this is now his last touchdown.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So could I go back to back? No rares. Is any of that really gold? Is that legendary hidden again? Does that look different?
I think they're all white.
This one looks less bright. I don't know. Okay, I'll just open
They all look the same to me. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, God. Oh,
are you kidding me?
I officially hate you.
I don't
like,
miss. I don't.
You're undefeated on all day drops, basically.
I hate talking about myself. I'm not about self promotion. I don't. But Jim, I don't miss.
God.
Holy hell. All right. Again,
That's
like
a
if
good
you're
one.
getting
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a
Yeah.
common, that was like the most epic game of the playoffs I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
All right.
Watch, here comes Mahomes.
Wait. Okay. What a letdown. It's just
It's still
another
got Josh
it's just another
Allen
Josh
in it,
Allen moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you tell us last week, Jim?
What'd I say?
No, it's about how like this is a unique space because like every catch is really also
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, like every wide receiver, tight end is also technically a quarterback moment. So So this is from the wild card game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you're guaranteed one. That was it.
Yeah.
Well, wait, hold on.
So your Josh Allen one was a divisional series one.
Yeah, my bad. I flipped.
Yep.
You're a guaranteed one of these. So I got the Josh Allen one.
Yeah.
That was a wild card.
And you could get more than one, but yeah. You got another divisional round one.
So I got two.
And this is the game-winning touchdown, isn't
Right.
it?
This is the overtime.
That's it. That's the overtime touchdown.
Yep.
What a huge moment to have. Because, like, you could arguably say, like, that's the greatest football game I've ever watched. Like, I believe that this was the best football game I ever watched. And this was the game-winning touchdown in it.
Yep.
God, you're the worst.
I'm not sorry. Screw you, Jim.
No, you're good.
I look at your
Congrats.
candy
I'm happy.
account. Screw you.
I'm happy. I'm happy for you.
Wow.
Man.
Like all in all, again, with what I have going on all day, like I hit that legendary. But other than that, everything's a common that I have. Of the
But they're all quarterbacks.
and that's what I'm saying.
They're
Like
all quarterbacks, and yeah.
of being commons, I can't ask for anything better.
No,
I have like
you
every
can't.
quarterback in the NFL.
Well, I mean, you got two moments from the best game ever, arguably. Just in that pack.
Yeah. I mean, okay, Baker Mayfield, whatever, but it's Baker Mayfield. Like it's a quarterback. Like if that's the worst.
Right.
Like Patrick Mahomes. There's a legendary Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which features Tom Brady. God. There's Ben Roethlisberger's last touchdown. There's Gronk. There's Josh Allen in that ridiculous game. And then Kelsey in that ridiculous game winning it.
Yeah.
Man.
It's a good little collection you've got going on there.
Yeah, I'm excited. Cool. Well, that was a way to end the stream. It wasn't
Congrats,
Brady.
man.
I really want, of course, Mahomes legendary. I mean, in that game, getting Mahomes legendary, but
Right.
or Brady because that could be his last touchdown. But it's like if you're going to get a consolation prize, I guess I'll take what I just got.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
FD, what's up, man? This is Kyle Gibson from the Phillies.
Good stuff.
Mr.
I keep playing videos.
I wanted that pack so bad. Hopefully we get in next week's.
Yeah. Also, good games.
But then also next week's you have the chance at all of this week's moments and all of the previous weeks too.
Good call. You could get last week and this week all in one pack, and
Yeah.
you could have Josh Allen as well. And
Yeah, that's true.
then whatever comes out this week, which is all.
Let's
really
just
free.
keep saying that. Yeah.
I'm down. Let's do it. All right, Jim. Everyone listening, Thanks for following along, listening, joining in, interacting. Follow us everywhere. Subscribe, like the show. Give us your thoughts. Yeah, Justin says, damn, you run well. I agree. I have no complaints in all day. Easily the best, and I did well in Candy, but not gym well. So easily the best I've done so far as luck and relatively speaking of out there, what's out there. All right.
Yep. You did well.
Anything you want to say before we get out of here, Jim?
Hopefully I can get next week's.
I do too. I would be willing to get one along with you if it means you get one.
Okay. How nice of you.
I was almost going to say no, but I want one too, Jim. It's hard out here in the streets.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, so I'll get one along with you. How's that?
Okay, that works.
All right, we'll get out of here. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
See you guys.